Welcome back, everyone. We hope you had a great conversation. Our next category is the Pillar Award, which recognizes for-profit companies that employ corporate giving through donations, pro bono work, volunteerism efforts, and team members who serve on the boards of nonprofits. Now, this is the core award around which the entire Pillar Award for Community Service program was built. We have 10 honorees this year, which we'll introduce in two groups. Here's the first group of 5. You'll meet the other 5 members of the class a little later in the program. And it starts with Choice One Engineering. Since its founding in 1994, Choice One's core purpose has remained the same: for employees to enjoy their work, be responsive to each other, and develop relationships with coworkers and with clients. One of those relationships is with Sweet Cheeks Diaper Bank, which works to end diaper need in the Cincinnati area. Each fall, during the annual Choice One Charity Cup, vendors, clients, friends, and employees come together to support Sweet Cheeks Diaper Bank's mission. That's resulted in a ripple effect, allowing Sweet Cheeks to connect with other companies that have also become annual corporate sponsors and provided grant funding. So congratulations, Choice One Engineering. Next, Cullen Investment Group. Ryan Cullen founded Cullen Investment Group on the principles of no account minimums, low fees, and transparency. He reached out to local, predominantly Black schools in Cincinnati and asked if he could teach basic financial literacy to students. He also asked local African-American business owners to accompany him in talking about their experiences as entrepreneurs and to offer free one-on-one financial literacy lessons and financial planning. Partnering with Matthew Cuff, founder and owner of Just Q and Barbecue Restaurant, Ryan began serving on the board of directors as treasurer of Cuff's nonprofit Renew, which provides resources, including financial literacy, to low-income individuals. Congratulations. Our next honoree is Dbo Law. In 2020, Dbo Law provided financial and physical support to more than 100 community organizations and was recognized for its efforts in child abuse and neglect prevention. The firm received one of 6 2020 Partner in Prevention Awards, recognizing that it has excelled at involving its partners, its associates, and its employees in the awareness and education critical to the prevention of child abuse and neglect, even during a pandemic. The foundation of the firm rests on the grassroots work it does within its communities, and that there are no more important causes than ensuring that children grow up safe and healthy. Congratulations to Dbo Law. Our fourth honoree in this category is Health Carousel. Health Carousel's higher purpose mission is to improve lives and make healthcare work better. Its hashtag HC Gives Back program encompasses several main areas of giving back: philanthropy, diversity, and inclusion, with an emphasis on health equity, employee well-being, and of course, recognition for doing so. The company, led by CEO Bill DeVille, understands its responsibility to ensure its operating practices and initiatives are ethical, legal, and profitable, and to make Health Carousel a good corporate citizen. Its employees fulfill the company's higher purpose mission to improve lives and to make healthcare work better every day by placing healthcare professionals on assignment when and where they are needed. So congratulations, Health Carousel. And our final honoree in this category for the first group of 5 of 10 is Jolly Plumbing, Drains, Heating, Air. Jolly Plumbing believes its business is only as good as its community and is committed to bettering both. Most recently, Jolly, led by CEO Brady Jolly, partnered with St. Vincent de Paul to create a technician calendar marketing campaign, with proceeds going to St. Vincent's Utilities Fund to ensure people are safe in their homes. Another program, Trucks and Treats, is a family-friendly event that allows people to see the equipment the company uses. In addition, Jolly's event center space allows local charities putting on fundraisers or hosting events to rent the space for free. Congratulations. Now, congratulations to our first 5 members of this year's 10 Pillar Award honorees. Let's take a moment to watch the second video about this year's complete class.
We believe that we have a responsibility in those communities that we live to give back in some way. And we never tell employees, you have to be involved in this nonprofit. Find what your passion is, and we will support that passion financially and also from a time commitment standpoint.
Leadership Council for Nonprofits is a very small organization, so we depend on the help of our board and the help of our volunteers to help with some of our programs. Our board certainly helps with our fundraising, as well as learning more about and representing the nonprofit community as a whole.
Everybody that starts with my company, they understand that passion to serve the kids who are our future in our society is, just an ongoing, dedicated opportunity.
We serve about 20% of the population who needs diapers. In the last 2 years, we've distributed a little over 4 million diapers, a little over 2 million diapers a year in 2020 and 2021. And we're, in our opinion, scratching the surface. So, I feel like it's our job to take care of these kids. These kids are our future.
My mother actually did in-home childcare. So I was around kids my whole life, even as a child. And just watching how resilient children can be and how phenomenally they can do if given the right circumstances, given the right support, the right structure. That's really been kind of the framework for my career.
The goal of our organization is to change the outlook for teen parents. Through our advocacy work, we partner with social agencies, leaders, government officials to evaluate systems, rewrite policies that are unjust or biased, policies that could potentially render our teen parents helpless.
There's such a disparity in financial literacy, especially with minority groups. So for me, having the firm address some of those financial literacy and financial planning gaps was very important to me, and so that's something that we try to tackle.
We have an event called Trucks and Treats. So it's just where kids and families around Halloween can come and use our facility and kind of learn a little bit about the trades and hopefully learn that one day they want to be in the trades. And it's something that we're really proud of. It's something that our employees really take a lot of pride in.
The feedback that we get from our programs and from the volunteer experiences that we've created for our team has just been phenomenal. They're so incredibly grateful to spend time with the local organizations that we partner with and to support, for Finnet to support charities that are important to them.
Companies are leaders in their communities, and it's important that we give back to the community that we're leading. It shows leadership, it supports the community, and more importantly, we can affect the now, which means today, by employing people. We can affect all that good stuff, and then we affect the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, since we're here to demonstrate the tie between the for-profit and nonprofit worlds, it only makes sense to recognize the hardworking and innovative individuals who run the nonprofits and employ savvy business practices that lead to success. These are our 2022 Executive Directors of the Year. Now, we have 5 honorees this year. To present them and to sit down with 2 to learn more about what they're doing, welcome back from Medical Mutual, Jonathan Favi, and also from Medical Mutual, Frank Bloomquist.
Thank you, Dustin. Our first honoree this morning is Jenny Berg, Executive Director, Leadership Council for Nonprofits. Under the guidance of Executive Director Jenny Berg, Council for Nonprofits has grown exponentially. From a small human services association providing services to help reduce members' overhead, it has become a strong, large nonprofit network providing leadership development programs and member benefits such as compensation and benefit surveys. However, one of the most impactful initiatives Jenny's brought to Leadership Council, and a theme that runs through all aspects of her leadership, is an unwavering focus on promoting diversity as well as an inclusive environment. Today, Jenny continues to conduct research to figure out how best to increase diversity at nonprofits. Congratulations, Jenny. Our next Executive Director of the Year is Katrina Bowman Thomas, Executive Director of the Northern Kentucky Community Action Commission. Katrina Bowman Thomas is the first African-American Executive Director of Northern Kentucky Community Action Commission, NKCAC. And in just 3 years, She has made an incredible impact, not only on the agency, but also in the Northern Kentucky community. Through her leadership, the board adopted a diversity and equity statement, and the agency uses the Awake to Woke to Work framework to align organizational priorities and practices within its recommendations. NKCAC now has a more diverse executive and leadership team. Its board is more diverse, and it uses the diversity matrix in hiring positions based upon the population it serves. Let's learn more about what Katrina and her team are doing. All right. Well, Katrina, thank you so much for joining us here virtually this morning. Obviously, we would prefer to be in person, but this is the second best thing that we can do. So at least we have a visual on one another, huh? Let me.
I'm super
Exactly.
excited. Yes, about this opportunity and just really thrilled to be honored in this way. It really, really, truly is an honor.
Well, we are honored to honor you. So I do have a couple questions that I want to ask you this morning and hopefully give the audience a little bit more insight into kind of how you lead and a little bit more about the great things that you're doing with your organization. So to kind of get us kicked off, how have some of the efforts around diversity that you've spearheaded affected both the engagement level of and the impact made by your team, the board, and the members that you serve?
Yeah, that's a great question. Over the past couple of years, as we, as really a country, have really begun to deal with these issues of equity and inequity, it was just put in our face. We really decided to be very strategic and make a conscious effort to say, we're going to begin to address this and create platforms where we can have conversations to begin to talk about this because as I look sort of throughout our region, a lot of businesses hadn't even really begun to have that conversation. So we were really excited to just jump in and again, offer spaces to have those conversations. And so as a result of that, we've really seen a lot of momentum. When I think about our chamber, our Northern Kentucky chamber, they've taken DEI on really as part of who they are. And they have a committee now and we've branched out to the Workforce Investment Board to include them. So I can really see where throughout the entire business community, it's becoming more part of just what it is that we do, to really think about equity, to elevate those issues, to establish a baseline for where we are as a community and set some goals to really move the needle. So I'm proud to say that we've been part of that and we continue to see that work happen in our region. And I'm just excited to see the outcomes that will happen from that work.
It's really important, I know, to me personally, but you called it out, which I think is worth just another mention is, creating that safe space, right? When people feel safe, they feel like they can share and they can have difficult conversations. So I applaud, you being able to not only recognize that, but to create some of that space for folks. So thank you. So with kind of that being said, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, we just appreciate that people were open and honest about those things. And we heard from some people that, they never talked about it, never, not in their family, not in life, not in general, period. So like you said, just to offer those opportunities and to see them continue on, I think it's going to help not just us, but the generation to come, that we're getting comfortable with these conversations, and then that will create the movement and momentum that we need in this space.
So with that same theme in mind, Katrina, what issues would you say are most important to your members as it relates to people's desire to continue to be involved in the community?
Well, I think one of the major issues we're still dealing with is COVID. We are in the third year of the devastation, not just of health, but of economics. And so a lot of our families are really just struggling to meet their basic needs. And so we've really seen a lot of our community rally around our families to help us to provide those basic needs. We're still giving out hundreds of meals a week. We're paying out, thousands and thousands of dollars in assistance every week because people are just getting back to work. So right now it's really making sure that families have that basic safety net for survival.
As you mentioned, a theme of all of our lives continues to be COVID-19, for better or for worse, but mostly for worse. So, kind of continuing once again with this great need that continues to, it was there prior to the pandemic. It's here now, and in some cases has been exacerbated by the pandemic. What programs, have you been able to develop kind of in the midst of COVID-19? And how have you been able to continue to identify opportunities for people to get involved, with restrictions and guidelines in place?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, one thing, as you mentioned, even pre-pandemic, that has been a crisis is just affordable housing. Like I said, it's just been a struggle not only in our communities but throughout the entire country, and we've been able to take advantage of some tax credit dollars, and actually we just built a 65 unit apartment complex, affordable housing complex. We have 400 applications for those 65 units. So that's something that we know is such a need in our community, and we work, and it's a huge collaboration of, I can't even say how many partners to bring that to pass, but that's definitely one of those areas that we're working in and that we'll continue to work in, and also continue to work with micro and small businesses to make sure that during this pandemic that they're getting the supports that they need to keep those businesses going.
There's been so much work that you've done, right? And have continued to do, despite, the world around us and all of the factors that have prevented us in many ways from moving things forward. So I guess what's next, for NKCAC, in 2022 and beyond?
Sure. So, we're here to really help to eliminate poverty. And one of the biggest ways that you can do that and sort of shrink that equity gap that we see is really helping people to create wealth through business. And so as we look to the future, we're going to continue to work in that vein, continuing to help micro, small businesses, those that want to get in business, to really spearhead that. We're going to continue to work in the area of affordable housing because we know it's just so critically important, and just continue to advocate for our community. Right now, we're dealing with in Northern Kentucky, the City Heights issue, where they're moving over 400 families out of that community. So being there to be an advocate for them to make sure that they get into good, decent, safe, affordable housing so that they can have the things that they need. The American dream, life, right, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what we all want. And so we are here as NKCAC to support everyone's dream, to see them fulfill that.
Well, once again, Katrina, we are grateful, for the time that you have taken this morning with us. But, not only just on behalf of, Medical Mutual and all of our partners and the audience here today, but thank you on behalf of all of the clients that you serve, all the people in the community that, are benefiting from the work you're doing. So congratulations. And, we can't wait to see what's next for you and the organization.
Thank you so much.
Next, please help me congratulate Lauren Merton, Executive Director of Social Venture Partners. Lauren Merton joined Social Venture Partners as Executive Director in 2015. In her first year, SVP increased the number of philanthropic partners by more than 50%, including significant increases in its corporate partner program. This allowed it to support more innovative nonprofits, not only with more money, but with more consulting projects that build capacity for nonprofits. Lauren immediately jumped in to manage SVP's Fast Pitch event, doubling attendees and tripling the number of sponsors. She spearheaded the re-imaging of this event for 2020 to a virtual platform, where the organization showcased the nonprofit pitches to more citizens and created donation collection web pages. Let's learn more about the Social Venture Partners. Lauren, hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's so great to be with you today, and congratulations. I'm really excited to spend a few minutes asking you a few questions and getting to hear some great answers.
Thanks you so much. I'm so excited and honored to be here and to talk with you.
Wonderful. Well, let's dive right in. You were able to make an immediate impact in your first year at the helm of SVP. What initiatives did you put in place to make that happen?
Well, I joined Social Venture Partners at the end of 2015. And at the time, the organization was really well poised for growth and putting the finishing touches on a strategic plan. So I was able to contribute to the strategic plan as an objective outsider, but more importantly, it really gave me a roadmap for what they envisioned as success, which you don't often get when you join a new job. And although I wasn't probably the typical nonprofit executive director hire, my background in professional services and business development, marketing, strategic management really helped me to be able to implement those outlined objectives for them. So it was really the roadmap.
Gotcha. That's great. Well, you probably knew I was going to ask this question. How's COVID impacted SVP and your ability to engage with potential philanthropic partners?
Well, it's been good and bad. I'll say, like everyone early on in the pandemic, we really scrambled. So we were, situating ourselves, getting a Zoom account, setting up home offices, and really making sure that our partners were able to stay connected. We had to reinvent our fast pitch program, which was scheduled for March 31st, 2020. So that was a very quick turnaround. And we were able to do that virtually a few months later. But most importantly, our partners work diligently to support the nonprofit investees that we work with in the community in helping them address their own unique challenges. And so SVP, our model is one of engaged philanthropy. And what that means is this is a group for companies and individuals who really want to do more than write a check. They want to go beyond giving. So they combine their business expertise with their time and their grant money to invest in different nonprofits. And this was at a time when, they needed us more than ever. And our own brand of engaged philanthropy was what the nonprofits were really looking for. And actually,
Gotcha.
people joining us as partners, 2021 ended up being one of our strongest years ever for recruiting people to join us as social venture partners, because folks really were looking for a meaningful way to give back to the community.
Wonderful. Well, because you've gone, virtual, what about your ability to identify opportunities and invest?
So what we did, we were, 2020 enabled us to take kind of a year off from the actual investment. We continued with Mortar and Women Helping Women. That were our two investees at the time, but we felt the need and felt compelled to take a step back and look at everything we were doing in the community and how we could do it better and how we could provide more, the same type of combination of grant with business expertise to nonprofits, but to more nonprofits. So we came up with a completely enhanced community impact and investment program called Project Accelerate, which combines some of the strengths of our former fast pitch program that we had done for 7 years, as well as our investee program. So we started out, we've completely revamped our whole investment model, started out at the end of 2021 with 10 nonprofits who came and they were coached, and we helped, really help them expand upon these socially innovative ideas that they had. We met and have narrowed that down to 4 nonprofits who are going to be going forward into the next phase, where basically they're going to be developing the components of a business plan for their socially innovative ideas. And those 4 are Refugee Connect, Rise Up News, the Stitch program from St. Francis Seraph Ministries, and Transform Cincy. So we're super excited to kind of continue on this journey for them and look forward to the end of April when we'll hear from them again and decide which one we will pick for that 2 to 3 year long-term investee relationship. Wow,
That's great. And you've obviously accomplished a lot and in a very difficult environment. So kind of as you look back, what changes that you made during COVID do you see kind of sticking with you in the future?
Well, I think in some ways we were happy with what we were doing. We were doing great work in the community, but COVID gave us that platform and that time to reflect on how to do more and do better. So after, the last 2 years of disruption and change, we're focused on completing our final year investee relationship with Women Helping Women, as well as ensuring the success of Project Accelerate, which will be our signature program going forward. And, we will also just keep starting with another cohort of Project Accelerate folks at the end of 2022 to kind of keep the momentum going on. And we're going to also be settling into our new fiscal sponsorship with Inspiring Service and looking to evaluate ways that we can work with them to do even more for Greater Cincinnati.
Well, as I said, you've accomplished a great deal.
Yeah.
So great spending a few minutes with you, and congratulations. It's well deserved.
Thank you so much. We appreciate what you guys are doing in the community as well.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Our next Executive Director of the Year is Michelle Oten Gunther, President of the Literacy Network of Greater Cincinnati Queen City Book Bank. The Blue Matinee Literacy Project and the Literacy Network of Greater Cincinnati both champion the development of literacy and serve as catalysts for literacy efforts in the community. By working in tandem on the creation of the Queen City Book Bank, QCBB, the organizations provide a comprehensive, multifaceted, community-focused approach that will drastically transform the way they engage with their community and radically improve book access and literacy. The mission of QCBB is to provide 10 books per year to students who do not have access to them. QCBB's work is targeted toward the 35,000 K through 6 students in the Cincinnati area. Congratulations. Our final Executive Director of the Year is Dr. Joseph Raymond, Medical Director of the Children's Home. Dr. Joseph Raymond is Chief Medical Officer for the Children's Home and New Path, organizations that serve nearly 20,000 clients in multiple counties across 4 states. Services include crisis stabilization, day treatment, autism services, and more traditional outpatient mental health care. Dr. Raymond has direct oversight of all clinical providers who provide psychiatric services and prescribe medication, and sets the tone, leads the culture, and advances the practice expectations around clinical pharmacological services. Dr. Raymond's talents as a doctor are a force multiplier when factoring in the tangible and contagious passion he illustrates for his profession and the children and family he serves. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our 5 Executive Director of the Year Award honorees. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our next and final networking break of the morning. Back at your tables, let's talk about what you're looking forward to in 2022. As this year goes on, how are you and your organization planning to come together to support community activities, team build, or to raise funds? And finally, what have you learned about your organization over the past 2 years that you may not have known or realized? We'll see you back here shortly for the next part of today's program.